Well, hello there. We made it, you guys. We made it to the end of Hallmark 2023 Christmas season. All of the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas movies and all of the Miracles of Christmas movies have been watched. I have 2 movies I have not yet reviewed, and it occurs to me as I'm talking to you guys that I don't think that I figured out what my ratings for these are going to be. So, I guess I'll figure it out while I'm talking, as I sometimes do. And my hair is big and crazy, just for the occasion of being done. It's Christmas Day. I had to go to work, but I still wear my Christmas shirt, and because you know what, you got to be festive. So the first one we'll talk about is Friends and Family Christmas, and I hope I'm remembering that name correctly. So I was pretty excited about this one because anytime Hallmark is showing us again their diversity and their commitment to inclusivity, I'm super pumped. Just like when we had the Jonathan Bennett movie a little bit, a couple weeks ago, Cherry Lane, and Holiday Sitter from last year. So this is Allie Liebert, and I love her. So she directed Holiday Sitter, and she's been in a ton of stuff. There's a movie that there are 2 of them that she made, and I want to say it's with Peter Porte or Port. I really need to figure out how to say his name because I love him. And I know he is gay in real life, and I think she is. I don't know if she's gay or bi, but I know that that she's LGBTQIA+. So anyway, so I was excited about this because I really do love her a lot, and I think that she is good in this movie. But I think the main problem with this movie is that I didn't care enough about the lead, and she's not the lead. The lead is this lady played by, her first name is Humberly, or Umberly, I think is how it's pronounced, if I remember correctly. And I liked her. She's gorgeous and she's fine, but to me, she wasn't compelling enough to be the lead. And this is really... she's listed first in the credits, and Allie is second lead on this. I think Allie was also one of the executive producers on this, if I'm not mistaken, but I just didn't find her compelling enough. Her story, or her, I don't know, something about her just didn't grab me, and I thought this was really pretty slow, and a very much like I'm folding laundry, I'm decorating the tree, I'm doing whatever, and not feeling like I want to pay full attention to this because it just wasn't getting me. But Umberly plays a character who's, they're in New York, right? And she's a photographer, and something I found odd is she takes a lot of pictures, but then she never develops them, and literally for years, and or she developed some, but not a lot for some reason, and she probably said what the reason was, and I missed it because I wasn't paying attention. But she's staying home, she's away from her parents for the first time, and she's going to stay in New York so she could work on this project at this place where she does work. And her parents are trying to set her up. I guess her dad was college roommates with Allie Liebert's dad. And Allie Liebert is kind of freshly out of a relationship, or not super fresh, but she's gone through a breakup and is very hesitant to get back into anything. But so basically the parents try to set him up, and they go on a date, and the date is just okay, but neither one of them really feels oh, we should keep dating. And so, but later, Umberly's character tells her parents that they are dating because she just doesn't want her parents to have to worry about her, and also to because they wind up surprise visiting her, and so just to kind of keep them out of her hair. Basically, or wait, it's one, I can't remember who tells the fib first, if she's the one who says it to her parents or if Ali Lieber says it to her dad to like get him out of her hair. Either way, they agree, like, look, let's get through the holidays like a contract, which, you know, I love a fake dating contract situation. We've seen that before. But, you know, Ali Liebert's like, yeah, I have some things that I have to go to and you can be my date for that. And she's like, perfect, you can hang out with me, help me keep my parents entertained while they're here and stuff like that. So, being a Hallmark movie, of course, they start with a fake contract that is going to lead to them ultimately falling in love. But it's a real slow burn, I feel like, to get to them getting together. Because even before, I don't know, I didn't feel like, I'm going to say at the end, when they're together, like the last scene, I feel the chemistry there, and like they have a great kiss, and not the last scene, because the last scene I think is, but like the scene where they sort of like, Amberly does this thing for her. That's a pretty cool scene, and I feel the chemistry there, but prior to that, I just wasn't feeling it. And I don't know, again, if it's just a thing that I have with this particular actress that I'm not vibing with. Like, again, hold on, I got a cough. Okay, I'm back. I got a cold like 4 weeks ago, and I still like have this tickle in my throat, and it just drives me crazy. But anyway, I don't know why, and I feel bad saying this because, again, she's not a bad actress. There was just something about her for me that didn't work, at least in this role. So maybe they'll put her in something else and I can have a chance to see, you know, like sometimes it's like that. Like, I've talked about Cindy Busby before. There were several Cindy Busby movies that I watched that were like complete, like to the point where I was like, why do they keep putting Cindy Busby in movies? Even though I said that I think Cindy Busby is probably a lovely person, and I don't think she's a bad actress, but she wasn't either, the combo of her and the movie wasn't working. And then this year, she did that Everything Christmas movie, I think it's called, and I loved her in that movie. Like, that was like a perfect role for her. She was perfectly cast. I really enjoyed the movie. So this could be a case of that, where it's just like, this for me just wasn't it. And somebody else is going to watch this and be like, you're absolutely out of your mind. But for me, it was a slow burn. It was very, very slow. And I just could not recommend that somebody, like, this is definitely not one of those where I'd be like, you just have to watch it. So I'm going to have to give this like, I don't even know if it's going to be a 2.5. It's going to be a 2.5 or a 2.25 because it's not a bad movie, but I think if I was forced to watch one of these movies again, I would rather watch Checking It Twice again, and I only gave Checking It Twice a 2.5. So I'm going to have to give it a 2.25 because, and again, I love Ali Liebert, so I'm surprised that I'm only giving it that, and it also suffers from end of season fatigue. You know, by the time this movie rolls around, how many of these have we watched? Like, you know, 35, 36 movies or something. So I feel badly for it in that respect, but that's what I can do. I'm going to give it a 2.25. So I'm going to pause for 1 second, and then we're going to talk about the last movie. Okay, the last movie of the year. I think it's called Miracle in Bethlehem, PA, or Miracle in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, if you will. And I could be making that up, but I know it's got Bethlehem in the title, and that's pretty much the only thing that I'm sure about. I also know that it has Benjamin Ayers and Laura, I think it's like Vandervoot or something like that. I'll put her name right there. And I really enjoy both of them. She was in a movie with Niall Mater a couple of years ago that I really liked. Cannot obviously remember the name of that movie, but it also had the guy in it who I knew from Blacklist, and I really enjoyed that one. So I do like her. Love Benjamin Ayers. I mean, he's in one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. I probably talked about it before a lot of times, but I don't know if I've ever done a review of it, which is odd. Originally an ABC Family movie, 12 Dates of Christmas, and love that movie. But he plays a part in that one. So Benjamin and I go way back, and obviously he's a rock star. Like, he's been in a million different things, and I'm a fan. So this movie comes from the way that Hallmark has like a mahogany line, where it's like for like black folks movies. This is like a special like faith, like God situation, and I can't remember the name of it, but basically this movie is so much Godwink in disguise. Like, they should have called this Godwink Miracle in Bethlehem, but like, since, you know, maybe they're like trying to get away from Godwink, because weirdly, when I looked up one of the Godwink movies on I think I was looking up stuff that Kimberly Sested had done, because she was in the first Godwink Christmas, and I think that the title of it was changed to like something about coincidences or something like that, which the Godwinks really, for me as a non-religious person, the Godwinks in the Godwink movies mean like they're coincidences, but like they refer to them as times where like God has brought you to a place and time in a situation, as opposed to just like, you know, fate or chance or something. So so this movie is very like, it has more God in it than like the Godwink movies that I've seen. So but Laura is she's a lawyer, and we get her backstory that she was married and that her husband divorced her, and he's some kind of relatively famous guy, but I don't remember why, because they show a picture of him like with his new wife or girlfriend or something, who's like pregnant, and she had fertility issues and stuff. And so we go through like listening to her, calling the adoption agency to see if there's any change, because she's been on this list and stuff for a really long time. So here's my first thing with this movie, which is like, I am not trying to make nobody mad with this, but like, if I don't know how adoption like works, I've not been through it myself or anything like that, but I have to wonder, one of the things that was distracting me, because when she does get her baby, it is, you know, it's a girl, and she's a white baby, and which I completely, you know, like, I was fortunate enough to be able to have a kid, and, you know, who shares DNA with me. My kid, skin-wise, doesn't look anything like me, because my kid's mixed and got a lot of dad's genes, so my kid is a very light complexion. But, so, I can't speak to, like, and I'm mixed, I'm biracial myself, so I can't speak to the idea of what it feels like to want a kid who is the same race. And I'm not saying that she was like, I only want a white baby, but what I found surprising is that it would take that long. If you had just said, I just want whichever baby comes up, you know what I mean? This is silly. I feel badly even going off on this tangent, but I can't help but be distracted by it. And maybe it's because I'm coming off of Cherry Lane, where they so badly wanted to be parents, and they started as foster parents. And so, like, every situation is going to be different. Every agency is going to be different. And if you say that, you know, you would strongly prefer to have a baby of your own race or ethnicity or whatever, then I already lost like about like 1 billion of you, because okay, so like, you know, because like there's about 3 of you who might watch this, and already 2 of you have turned this off because I just went on about this. But I'm sorry, it distracted me, but so I want to be completely honest about that, so that you know that that was one little, it was a little thing, and I've turned it into a bigger thing, and I didn't mean to turn it into a bigger thing, but it was just one of those things that I wondered about. Okay, I'm done with that now, but it was there. So she's been on this list for a long time. She finally gets a baby, and the baby is in Bethlehem, PA, because everything is so like, well, I can't get that. It's in Bethlehem, and so she has to go there, and then there's going to be a snowstorm, and she goes to the inn, and there's what? That's right, there's no room at the inn, just like in the Jesus Story. So she gets taken in, not to a manger, but by Benjamin Ayres, because the person who runs the inn, it was played by Amy Groening, who we just saw, who I absolutely loved in Santa Summit and in other stuff. Adore her. She plays the owner, or the person who runs the inn at least, and her brother is Benjamin Ayres, who is like a tow truck driver, a mechanic, also used to be like in rock bands and stuff, but like we can tell that he's sort of given that up because he lost his dad and then hasn't wanted to do, performing and stuff like that. So, oh, but his mom is played by this lady that I love. She's been in a ton of stuff and been a mom in a ton of stuff, and I cannot remember her name, but she's an MVP. She's in all kinds of stuff. So he happens to walk in at the same time, and she's like, why don't you stay with my brother? Because like, as if that would happen in real life. It would not. So she goes and stays with him, and he is like this confirmed bachelor. We get to see him getting broken up with in the beginning of the movie. And if there's any humor that ever comes from the movie, it's Benjamin Ayres doing stuff. Because he gets some funny lines and gets to do some funny stuff. But so she goes and stays with him, and at one point they dance to like a Jesus song, and God, you guys, it was literally it's the last movie of the 40. It's the last movie that I watched. I finished it yesterday when I had I've been so like cramming with so much stuff to do around the holidays and things, because I'm very much a procrastinator, which means that you wind up with 90 billion presents to wrap on Christmas Eve. So, again, I apologize to Benjamin Ayres and Laura for making this, for being so tired when I watch this, but at the same time, the movie is fine. I actually, I really enjoyed them together. The stuff in it, the God stuff in it, for me, is not, it's not my jam. It's not my cup of tea. But for somebody who's into it, I think you'd absolutely love this movie. So for somebody who's a super, I love church, go Jesus, all that kind of thing, I would 1,000,000% say absolutely, this is the must watch of the year, because I think that it's a very good movie of that ilk. Okay, so that being said, I didn't find it super exciting, but I did find it definitely more entertaining and more watchable than the Friends and Family Christmas, which I still don't even understand exactly why they called it Friends and Family Christmas. I think that name is dumb, first of all, and I don't know if I mentioned that, but I get that they were friends and that the family was in town, but I think that's a stupid name for them. I don't know what you would have called it. I'm terrible with titles myself, so I'm the last person who should be saying something dumb. But I cannot believe we're almost on 20 minutes. This is so ridiculous for movies that I'm not even saying that you should watch, except that I'm saying if you're super into God and Jesus, you should definitely watch this movie. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you're a Benjamin Ayres fan, I would say go ahead and watch this, because I think he gets to do some good stuff in this. I think they do have good chemistry. I think she's a very good actress. I think they're both very good. So that, to me, makes it, that gives it some quality right there. I'm going to go ahead and give this I'm just going to go ahead and give this I'm going to give it a 3. I feel like there were times where I was leaning to something under 3 just because of things being, so we have to keep hammering into your head that we're in Bethlehem and she has a baby and there was no room at the inn, kind of. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So, and it's almost nap time. So I'm just going to stop talking. I'm going to say I'm going to give it a 3 iced peppermint mochas. And it has been, I don't even know if this is going to be the last thing I post, because I have so many things to, so many reviews still to edit and post and stuff. But it has been such a pleasure to do this. It always is, every year. As much as I might make say I can't believe I have all these movies to watch and stuff, it is a super fun project. I'm gonna feel a little bit lost now that it's over, even though I'm not done, like, editing and things like that. But it sort of gives me a purpose. I mean, also I have a job and I'm a mom and stuff, so I suppose that gives me a purpose too. But it's a blast. And for the people that interact with me when they're watching, like when I post these things, I really appreciate you. I think it's so much fun. I have this great, there's a great community of Hallmark people, like on Instagram. Like if you follow the hashtags, like the hashtag Hallmark and hashtag Hallmarkies and stuff, you will find these people. And it's so fun that there are people that, that we comment on each other's stuff on the regular. So, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's just Jen is a work in progress on Instagram. At some point, I am thinking of rebranding because I think that is a mouthful, and really all I do is watch stuff and talk about it. So I really think it should just be Jen watches stuff and talks about it. So at some point, I may do that. I'm rambling right now. Thank you. It's already 20 minutes. My God. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube and you want to like or subscribe, that'd be amazing. You'd make my entire year. It would go into 2024 in like the best mood ever because you liked and subscribed. So, okay. Thank you. Bye.